Hello folks, welcome. So today I want to just create this very quick video outlining exactly what it would cost to launch an Amazon FBA product. Okay, so I've heard some really wild figures about this, right? I had someone say to me yesterday, they were told it would cost at least £15,000 to launch a private label product. And I'm like, that is not the case. At least it's not the case for the vast majority of products that you want to launch, right? Okay, so this is my little screen here. It's all set up and I'm going to run through this. The first thing we need to think about when launching a business like this is business formation, right? So how much is it going to cost to set up the business, right? Now, let me just be really expensive on this, right? I'm just going to go mad on this. I'm going to say £100, right? Now, to register a business, I believe in the UK, it's £55. I don't know what it is in Ireland, but it's not expensive, right? But I'm going to say 100, right, to do everything. Like, that's getting your bank account set up, that's getting your business set up, that's getting all those things sorted, right? So we have business registration, £100, right? So not a lot of money, right? The next thing we would need is a sample, right? I'm talking about the hard cost of actually doing this business, right? I'm not talking about mentoring or anything like that. I'll cover that at the end, right? So a product sample, they generally cost anything between £50 and £200. Now I'm going to just meet somewhere in the middle. I'm going to say £125, right? That price does depend on the product that you are purchasing, because sometimes they're just, as I said, lower cost, sometimes they're higher cost. When you buy a product from China, they generally charge a lot more for the sample than they would charge you if you actually proceed with a full order. And likewise, often when you do proceed with an order, they will refund you the cost of the sample. I think the reason they just charge more is just like a little bit of extra profit on the top, cream, because a lot of people are looking for samples. But then when you actually move ahead, they're happy to reimburse you on that, right? And I'm going to say £125 for the product sample, right? Then we move ahead with the product, right? So let's say hypothetically, the product costs you, let's say £2,000, right? That's the manufacturing cost, right? Which is pretty reasonable, okay? So we're going to say the product is £2,000, okay? Now, it doesn't always cost that. Sometimes the product can actually cost less. My very first product, total from the supplier, was $1,000, right? But generally it's more than that. Generally it just does cost more than that, right? But let's just say in this case it's £2,000 to get the product manufactured, right? Duty / VAT, right? Now, we're going to say we're importing the goods into the UK, right? Well, actually, no, before we do that, actually, we'll need to just do one more thing, right? Shipping, okay? Now, I always basically get my goods shipped via sea because it's lower cost, especially for bulkier items. Like my very small items, I might ship via air, but generally apart from that, it's via sea. So I'm going to say hypothetically, let's just say £400, right? Let's just say that's our sea shipping rate. Now, to get really good rates, I recommend using Amazon Global Logistics. They pick up your goods in China or at the port, and they basically bring them to the fulfillment center, be that in the UK or be that in Europe or be that in the US or Canada, right? But let's just say £400, right, for this case. Then for duty and VAT, right? So we have to add our product cost and our shipping together. So it's 2,400. The VAT is 20%. If it's been imported into the UK, and the duty is usually about 4%, right? So let's just, 10, 240, 480, and then add all that. Let's just say, look, ballpark figure, it's going to be £600, right, for a duty and VAT, right? That's the rough cost, right? And that is it. That's the cost to actually get a product launched onto Amazon with your own business. Oh, I'm forgetting one thing, right? Amazon fees. So what am I saying? I'm talking about like the monthly fee, and that is, I believe it's £35 per month. I don't even know. Like it just gets paid. Let me just add all this together and just give you an idea what it's going to cost you to actually do this. 100 plus 125 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus Amazon. Let me see. Amazon monthly fee. Do you think I'd have the exact figure ready for you guys? Let's check it out. Seller Central, £25 ex-VAT. Apologies, I was saying 35, 25. Okay. So then therefore the total is £3,250, right? That is by and large what it's going to cost you to import your very first product into Amazon from scratch, right? Now, as I said, there's estimations in this, right? Sometimes, as I said, a product could be really small and it could be really competitively priced, and you could import the whole thing via air and order everything for $1,000. Whereas other times the product's a bit bigger, there's a bit more, cost in shipping, there's more cost in actually getting it made and all that. So it really just depends on the product you find. But if I was just to say to someone like, how much money do you need? I would always say, look, between £2,500 and £3,500 to successfully launch your first product. However, I would also recommend to, get a mentor, get a coach, because there's a lot of factors that go into doing this that if you don't know what you're doing, this could look like small money because you could make mistakes. You could order a product that you are not able to sell, in which case you may as well just burn that money. Whereas someone that has done this before, that knows what they're at, knows the way to package the item, knows the way to make sure, that it's ready for Amazon, or knows, look, Amazon don't like those type of items, or they won't let you sell it, or just knows like you can't sell that item because it's patented and someone else owns the rights to it. These sort of things are so important, and that's why I always put aside money for mentorship. Now, mentorship comes in so many different shapes and sizes. Sometimes it costs thousands of pounds. Sometimes it is available for a monthly fee. It really just depends, but you should always budget a little bit for mentorship as well. Now, when making an investment on Amazon as well, and I'll leave you with this, with a product like this, you might think, oh, I'm just spending all that money and it's gone. It's not. When you do your calculations in terms of profitability, okay, I can always reduce my price of my item to the competing item, right? To that price. Or worst case scenario, I can lower it even more, which means I'm the most competitively priced item in the marketplace. Or I could even just sell it at cost just to get out of the item. That doesn't really happen, but I think if it would reassure you to move forward with your Amazon business, I just want to let you know that is always an option. So that's it, folks. That's how much it costs to launch an item on Amazon. Don't let anyone tell you that it's going to cost you $15,000. Roughly between £2,500 and £3,500 should have you well covered for 80% of the items we'd be buying. If you're interested in learning more, just go to the link in my bio and you'll find ways you can work with me. Cheers.